What's up guys, I'm Phoenix Master 1 and welcome to my Forma building guide for this month's Hall of Forms, featuring Awakening units like Halloween Female Grima, Plegian Tharja, Anna, and also Apotheosis Anna. So we have got skills up to the Arvel Mythic Banner, including the very coveted Attack Speed Finish 4, and also tier 4 skills like Mystic Boost 4 and Dragon's Ire 4. And the first unit I'm going to be taking a look at is of course going to be Halloween Female Grima, who is really a popular unit. So she has got Moonless Breath as her preferred weapon, which does have distant counter built into it, and if she's within 2 spaces of an ally and uses an offensive special, then she can heal up 30% of her max HP, and then she does have the adaptive damage like any kind of Dragon Breath against the ranged units. So this weapon is kinda nice for the healing, but it doesn't really give you any kind of stats or any other effect, and the distant counter built into this weapon is kinda devalued now because we do have distant counter available as a sacred seal for the dragons. So if she had some other effect in place of distant counter, that would have been much better, but still, like I said, this is going to be helpful with the healing, and it does have good synergy with her preferred slot A skill, Dragonscale. So this does have IO Shield built into it, which is amazing for any kind of tanky flyer. And she also can get -6 attack and resistance debuff on foe during the combat, and also +1 special cooldown charge on foes' attacks. So this allows her to retaliate back with 2 cooldown specials like Moonbow and Glimmer, and also heal up HP at the same time with her weapon. She's definitely going to be fun to use with this kind of preferred slot skill and the weapon that can give you the healing, but she's not going to be too insane. She can certainly try and get some nice new dragon tools with this Hall of Forms, and most of the time her slot skill is really not going to be mattering because you're already going to be running her preferred slot skill. So you mainly have to try and get a good slot B skill and like a good slot C skill, and you should be doing fine. And her weapon refine is a bit far away at early 2025. And if you're a big Grima fan, then I suppose you can try and get her with the premium skills, and she definitely has some really good options here available. So you can try and get another breath like Lantern Breath or Surprise Breath or Serenity Breath, because you're not going to be able to get Arcane Grima in Hall of Form, and even if you give that to her, you're going to be trading her slotty skill. So you can try and get Lantern Breath for the guard effect in both phases. And like I said, her special and slotted don't really matter too much because you're going to be probably using dragonscale when you get her, but still you can try and get some other alternative skills like the Unity skills in case you do want to plan on running Arcane Grima on her as a breath and you want to trade off that dragonscale. But the main option to look out for here is definitely going to be Dragon's Ire 4. So it is the best premium option by far to pick for a slow dragon like her, because this can not only give her the auto follow up in the enemy phase but also in the player phase. So now she can function in both phases, and not to mention also get the extra attack and resistance debuff with this skill. So it's going to be a really good skill if you want to make her into a mixed phase unit. And Attack Smoke 4 is also going to be a really nice option, and it is going to be providing you with the follow-up negation. So you can essentially try and get the Omni Breaker effect with the Slot B and Slot C skill until you face some kind of unit with null follow-up who just negates both of that. But still, this is going to be helpful in the mixed phase and can help a slow dragon like her. Surprise Breath is also an option that she can run so that she can get more in-combat debuffs on enemies' attack and resistance, and pretty much stack that up with the Hold skill. The main premium skill in this build is going to be Dragon's Wrath 4, which can provide you the true damage and also damage reduction at the same time. So this is going to be helpful with her Dragonscale and her preferred weapon, because you're going to be able to heal up the HP while also getting the special charges out of the Dragonscale, and you can just hit much harder with a special. So it does try to double down on her special spam, and if that's something that you'll like to do and pretty much just still stick to the enemy phase, then Dragon's Wrath 4 is going to be the option for you. Now both of these options are actually pretty good. It really depends on where your priorities are. If you want to have a mixed phase option in Dragon's Ire 4 with the previous build, or you want to have much harder one-shots with Dragon's Wrath 4 and also getting that damage reduction from it. You can also run Attack Resistance Hold, which can stack up with the in-combat debuffs of Surprise Breath, and it can also give you the consistent in-combat debuffs as well, which is really good for tanking and nuking. But you can also try and run Attack Res Oath 4 if you just want to have some fun with the teleportation, but overall I do like the Hold skill a bit more on Grima. Na is the fastest character to get into all the forms after getting a weapon refine. I mean, she just got her weapon refine couple of days back in this month itself. So Oracle's Breath is actually a pretty good weapon refine that can help you support your allies and also helps Na in the combat. And it does have two parts, one that is active during the combat for Na and then one that is active on the field to buff up the allies and herself. So in the combat, she's able to get +8 to all of her stats and also the follow-up negation. So this can be pretty helpful because she is rather slow. And then she also has the proxy bonus doubler, which makes use of the bonuses of the allies within 2 spaces. So we have seen this before on Legendary Roy's Slotsy skill, so it's pretty similar to that. So basically Na can get a lot of stats in combat, but the main thing why her weapon refine is pretty good is because of the fact that it can provide the special charges status effect and defense and resistance +6 buff to herself and the allies within 2 spaces. And the reason why this is really helpful is because we have got Embla now who can inflict the feud status. So a lot of support units that we have that can provide the special charge support, they are going to be having their effect completely nullified by the feud status of Embla. But Na's status is completely Embla proof, so she does provide you the status which you can also get out of the dance skill of Fallen Ninian, but Na can actually provide this to multiple allies at the same time. So this is really great for a lot of the Gale Force allies and for even tanks that want to run a Breath Sacred Seal. So they can just be freed of that and she can function as a pretty good support unit. Ultimately, she's going to be used for her support, so even a one-off copy of her is going to be working out fine if you're just going to be using her in like Aether Raid's offense or Summoner duels or even in Aether Raid's defense, as she is going to be able to provide these special charges. And for doubling down on the support, you can just try and get Infantry Null follow-up in her Slot C, which is pretty much going to be the best Slot C skill that you can get because Na can function as a pretty nice support unit with this Slot C skill. And if you haven't already refined her, then you can just get her preferred weapon, and that is going to be coming with the refine itself, so it is going to be saving you 200 divine dues in the process. Because Na can get the special charges status to herself as well, she can easily make use of something like attack resistance finish to get extra damage output and use 2 cooldown specials. So that is going to be the perfect slot A skill that you can run. And then in slot B, she definitely has a couple of options depending on what you want. So Dragonscale 4 is going to be helping you get that Omni Breaker effect essentially with her weapon refine, where she can have the auto follow up in both phases and then prevent enemies follow up attack with her weapon refine. And if you want to build her up more for the support, then you can definitely run Sudden Panic, which is going to be a lot more useful for Aether Raid's offense, and even Pulse Tie is going to be a bit more useful for Summoner duels to get rid of the Hardy Fighter Armor's pre-charged specials or Lethality Yuri. And Dragon Stratfor is also an option that could be used for the combat because she is going to be able to retaliate back with a 2 cooldown special, and she is also running the finish skill. So you can try and double down on the true damage and hit even harder, but this is not going to be giving you any kind of auto follow up like Dragon's Ire. She can already provide the defense and resistance buff, so Rally Attack Speed Plus is actually the perfect one, and her special doesn't really matter too much because Blue Flame is usually not going to be run over something like Glimmer or Moonbow. So this build is balanced around her combat and also providing support to your allies. Plegian Tharja is also available in the green pool of this batch, and she has got Plegian Torch, which is an inhittable weapon, so it does have the Plegian effect on the debuffs of attack and resistance on the opponent, and she doesn't really have a preferred weapon despite being a 5-star locked seasonal unit, so she is mainly going to be competing with the other seasonal units of that rarity like Spring Sonia or Summer Erica, who just have a preferred weapon and are just going to be much better. So Plegian Tharja is going to be depending and waiting for the inevitable green Arcane Tome, which can definitely help her because her offenses are actually not all that bad. But if you're a big fan of Tharja, then you can definitely try and get a more premium kit so that whenever the green Arcane Tome comes out, she's going to be having a better build to be working with. The options for a range flyer are pretty limited, and Snow Globe is basically the best green tome that you can try and get because it's a premium weapon and it also has the attack resistance unity built into it. So Plegian Torch is nice, but many of the foes do have the debuff neutralization, and Snow Globe can definitely be pretty fun with an Oath Force skill and attack speed unity in the slot A. And unity skill is going to be pretty nice with the buffs that you can get out of the Oath Force skill, and it also stacks up with the attack unity part of Snow Globe. But you can still try and get the attack speed catch 4 if you just want to have more offenses. And for the slot B, there are not too many options. You can run Fortress, which is going to be a pretty nice slot B skill to get the debuffs in both phases. But keep in mind that when you're going to be teleporting with the Oath 4 skill, you're not going to be able to get the Canto effect. You can also try and run Speed Preempt, I suppose, at like max investment. But at low investment and no merges, I would definitely not recommend that. And Fortress is basically our option. And she already has Speed Resistance Rain in her base kit, so I think that getting the Oath 4 skill is, much better and provides a different effect. So you can definitely run that as an offensive skill and also to enable the teleportation. But if you just want to have a better rain skill, then Speed Resistance Hold is definitely going to be the option. And if you do plan on running her with the Plegian Tome, even after getting her as a Forma, then Attack Resistance Menace can definitely help you with her default weapon. Apotheosis Anna is the final unit of this batch, and she's got Apotheosis Spear as her preferred weapon, which is honestly pretty tame in nature because it just provides her with +3 speed, and she can teleport to any kind of ally within 2 spaces, and then she can get +5 attack and speed in the combat. So she definitely had a pretty unfortunate timing because when she got released, just after a while, we got Female Chris, who had a much better weapon, and then we also had Rattlecatria, who can give multiple allies the Otter's buff. And we also have the Oath 4 skills now, and also, Winter Cordelia. So the teleportation effect built into her weapon is not really too insane, and she only gets the offenses out of this weapon, absolutely no defense or resistance. But once we're done with Book 3 refines, then she's probably going to be up for the weapon refine in late 2023 or early 2024. But before that, we're probably going to be getting an Arcane Lance. So if you're a big fan of her, I suppose you can try and get more premium skills on her and pretty much try and prepare for the inevitable Arcane Lance or for her weapon refine. So you can try and get the Piercing Tribute, which is going to be a better weapon than her preferred, outside of like giving you the teleportation, because it does provide you with the defensive half of null follow-up and also the extra offenses, and after refining her you can still get the extra speed and also extra HP. And Springy Lance could also be an offensive option, which also provides you with the offenses. And Vital Astra is available, so be sure to pick that up because that is going to be really helpful whenever Arcane Lance comes out, and that gives you -1 special cooldown. So she's going to be able to make fantastic use out of Vital Astra using that weapon. And even now, like, it is going to be a pretty good damaging special and premium special that you can try and get. And because she's going to be having this kind of 2 cooldown special, you can definitely get Attack Speed Finish 4, which is now available in the Hall of Forms, which can give you healing and true damage. But still, there are other slotty options that you can try and run depending on your investment. And you can also run Velocity in her slot B so that you can get the Null Guard and also the damage reduction. But Speed Defense Bulwark is also an option if you just want to double down on the healing with the finish skill and also get the Obstruct effect. And then finally for the slot C, because she already has John Drive Speed and because she can already get the teleportation, if you get Attack Speed Oath 4, then it's probably going to be a bit redundant whenever she gets a weapon refine. So that's why I feel like Speed Smoke 4 is going to be a pretty nice option, which can give you more damage reduction, and it can work out with, both of the future weapons, and it can also work with the future options like Arcane Lance and also her weapon refine. Godlike Reflexes is also available in this Hall of Form, so you can also try and get that as a special, but honestly I like Vital Astra a lot more, and whenever Arcane Lance is going to be coming out, Godlike Reflexes could be used with that, but Vital Astra is going to be able to be pre-charged a lot easily. So overall I do like Vital Astra, but if you're someone who really likes Godlike Reflexes, then that's also an option, especially at high investment when she's going to be running Distant Dart or Distant Pressure. Next month, we're actually going to be getting 2 Hall of Forms. One of them is going to be the rerun of the Heroes Hall of Forms, which did win in the Twitter poll. So you can look forward to that in the early January. And then in the later part of the January, we're going to be getting our Fates Hall of Forms. And I think that these units do have pretty good chance of appearing in Fates Hall of Forms. Arete does have access to Arcane Eclipse now, so I can see them monetizing that. And Arete is also a pretty popular unit which many people have merged up. And I can also see Fallen Male Corin there because not only he's available in the Divine Codes, but he's also someone who benefits out of the Arcane Weapon. And Charlotte is pretty much the same as him, and we did see Brave Eliwood not that long ago in Hall of Forms, so I think that Camilla could also happen. And whenever we do have like a preferred weapon healer available, they have mostly kind of tried to put that. So that's why I think that Brave Camilla could happen. New York Kaden could also be an option because they love their 4-star focuses, and in the blue pool I don't think we have too many options, and Ninja Hana could also happen as the Grail unit, and she can of course benefit out of the Arcane downfall. And if they're going to be continuing to put the recent weapon refined units like Na in the Hall of Forms, then Fallen Female Corrin also has the chances. So come back next month to see if I was right or wrong, and make sure to share this video with your friends if they're trying to build up any of these Hall of Forms units. And if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a like and a comment, helps me tremendously. And if you really enjoyed, you could always support me directly by using super thanks or by becoming a YouTube member down below as well. And for more FEH videos, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell, because YouTube sub boxes are about as functional as dragonscale is with Arcane Grima. So with that said, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.